Hello, today we'll be discussing the Japanese concept of Wabi Sabi. In the midst of our busy daily lives, have we lost sight of what true abundance means? Let's explore the path to quiet happiness taught by Wabi Sabi, Japan's traditional aesthetic philosophy.
I'd love to learn more about it.
What is true abundance? We often find value in the quantity of our possessions, in perfection, and in splendor. Yet in Japan, a completely different philosophy of abundance has flourished. This is Wabi Sabi. The beauty of imperfection awakens imagination. The purification of stillness leads to essence, and the transient nature illuminates the present moment. The wisdom of finding deep satisfaction and peace of mind within these elements has supported Japanese spiritual culture for centuries.
Fascinating.
In our modern society, where efficiency, results, and material wealth are pursued, are our hearts truly fulfilled? In this program, we'll introduce you to Wabi Sabi, Japan's traditional aesthetic sensibility, and explore how it can guide us toward inner abundance and new ways of living, especially valuable in these chaotic times. Come, let's embark on a journey beyond time and space. Learning about Wabi Sabi will become a journey of confronting your inner self and rediscovering what true abundance really means.
The historical background and development of Wabi Sabi.
The origins of Wabi Sabi lie in the fusion of nature worship, from Japan's indigenous Shinto religion and the Buddhist concept of impermanence that arrived in the 6th century. This aesthetic sensibility deepened particularly during the late Heian period through the Kamakura period amid successive political turmoil and natural disasters.
What exactly does it mean?
Wabi originally meant loneliness, or lack, as in wabi-shi, but eventually elevated to represent the quiet joy found within simplicity. Sabi evolved from the word sabu, which originally meant fading or deterioration over time, and came to find value in the natural aging process. These two concepts were deepened and expressed by three great historical figures, Kamo no Chōmei, Senno no Rikyū, and Matsuo Bashō, each within their own historical context. While living through turbulent times, or perhaps because of this turbulence, they discovered wisdom in transforming material constraints into spiritual abundance.
Could you tell me more about these three figures?
Let's examine how these three historical figures nurtured the spirit of Wabi Sabi amid their times and discovered wisdom that deserves to be passed down to the modern age.
Kamono Chomei, 1155 to 1216.
During the tumultuous transition from the aristocratic Heian period to the samurai-dominated Kamakura era, one man brought forth the aesthetic sensibility of Wabi. That was Kamo no Chōmei, born into a distinguished family, yet denied the path of becoming a Shinto priest due to power struggles among relatives. Chōmei chose to live by his poetic talents, becoming a first-rate poet recognized by the highest poetic authorities of his time. Yet despite walking this path to success, his heart remained unfulfilled.
What events influenced him?
Great fires, civil unrest, famine, devastating earthquakes, these calamities that Chōmei witnessed throughout his life became the profound source of the impermanence depicted in his later work, Hojoki. The turning point in his life came in 1204 when, deeply disappointed after once again being deprived of a religious position by relatives, Chōmei decided to leave the capital and take Buddhist vows at nearly 60 years of age. He built a tiny hut called Hojo, just 3 meters square, at the foot of Mount Hiei. There, he discovered an entirely new form of abundance.
That's where he wrote Hojoki, considered one of Japan's 3 greatest classical essays, isn't it?
At the beginning of Hojoki, there is such a famous passage.
The flowing river never stops, and yet the water never stays the same. Foam floats upon the pools, scattering, reforming, never lingering long.
These opening words of Hojoki poetically express the truth that everything continuously changes, and nothing exists eternally. The changing seasons viewed from his hut, plants swaying in the wind, little birds that visited, Chōmei felt eternity within this momentary beauty. What we call impermanence, the transient nature of this world, Chōmei accepted not as something to lament, but rather as a profound beauty.
How did that influence Wabi Sabi?
This aesthetic of impermanence, the deep insight into and acceptance of things that fade away, greatly influenced the later development of Wabi Sabi. The aesthetic sensibility that Chōmei discovered in his tiny hut became the foundation of Wabi Sabi's principle of finding eternal value within the transient.
Senno Rikyū, 1522 to 1591.
Senno Rikyū was born during the Warring States period, when all of Japan was consumed by battle. He further elevated the spirit of wabi-cha inherited from his tea ceremony predecessors. Precisely because it was a turbulent period of civil war, he pursued Wabi Sabi's serene aesthetics to their ultimate limit.
What is wabi-cha?
There is this famous saying by Senno Rikyū.
The way of tea is nothing more than boiling water, making tea, and drinking it.
The way of tea is nothing more than boiling water, making tea, and drinking it. This statement encapsulates the essence of Wabi Sabi, the ultimate simple profundity of removing gorgeous decorations and excessive techniques, leaving only the essence. This was the wabi-cha that Rikyū pursued. His tea ceremony was not merely ritual, but a practice that purified the heart through the five senses. Hearing the sound of hot water, seeing a space of shadows and light, feeling the texture of the tea bowl, smelling the fragrance and steam, tasting the bitterness of thick tea. Through all these experiences, participants are invited into the world of Wabi Sabi.
What characteristics did the tea room have?
The wabi-cha established by Rikyū stood in stark contrast to the luxurious and magnificent tea ceremonies that came before. The grass hut tea room of about 2 tatami mats in size, the low nijiriguchi entrance, simple tea bowls, tools made of natural materials. Everything embodied the aesthetics of simple profundity. In this space, reduced to the absolute minimum, spirituality is heightened and the depth of Wabi Sabi stands out.
So this confined tea room actually enhances spirituality.
Yes. In the 1570s, Rikyū became the tea master to the most powerful rulers of the day, first Oda Nobunaga and then Toyotomi Hideyoshi. His philosophy of Ichigo Ichie, one time, one meeting, was a philosophy of respecting each moment as a once-in-a-lifetime encounter, especially meaningful in an era when tomorrow's life wasn't guaranteed. What Rikyū perfected in the tea ceremony was the aesthetics of wabi. This wasn't merely the pursuit of simplicity, but carried a profound spirituality of creating maximum meaning with only the essential elements. He found the atmosphere of sabi in natural materials and well-used tools, establishing the value that only what preserves just the essence can harbor true beauty.
Matsuo Bashō, 1644 to 1694.
Matsuo Bashō was born during the peaceful early Edo period. Serving a feudal lord, Bashō faced a turning point in his life when his master died. At 23, he took Buddhist vows and went to Edo, beginning his journey in haikai poetry that would shine in Japanese cultural history.
What is haiku?
Haiku is a uniquely Japanese short poetic form consisting of 17 syllables in a 5-7-5 pattern, incorporating seasonal words, kigo, and capturing moments of truth. Bashō infused haikai, which until then had been considered mere wordplay or entertainment, with profound spirituality and aesthetics. Through this minimal poetic form, Bashō perfected the aesthetics of sabi and completed the spirit of Wabi Sabi.
What kind of verses did Bashō leave behind?
An ancient pond, a frog jumps in, the sound of water.
This famous verse perfectly expresses the essence of Wabi Sabi. Within limited words, it's what is not expressed, the empty space that stirs infinite imagination. Silence, a momentary event, and then silence returning, this resonant stillness is the heart of Wabi Sabi.
It's an abundance that communicates by not putting things into words.
Yes, Bashō established his own distinctive style called shofu, and in later generations became known as one of the greatest haikai masters in Japanese history, recognized worldwide. His haiku were not mere wordplay, but conveyed quiet emotions born from deep communion with nature. Through his travels, Bashō created many famous verses, and his masterpiece, Oku no Hosomichi, contains poems composed during his approximately 2,400-kilometer journey through northeastern and northwestern Japan. This work is not simply a travel diary, but a masterpiece condensing profound insights and poetic sentiment gained through encounters with nature and people.
What are the characteristics of Bashō's Wabi Sabi?
Bashō's Wabi Sabi is a profound aesthetic brought about by empty space and lingering resonance. His method of conveying maximum emotion with minimal words can be considered the ultimate form of Wabi Sabi. Bashō's spirit of communicating something beyond words has become a wisdom that finds value in silence amid the noise of modern times.
The essence of Wabi Sabi.
Now let's explore the essence of Wabi Sabi and how we can apply it to modern life. What is the essence of Wabi Sabi? Generally, Wabi Sabi is a Japanese aesthetic sensibility that finds deep meaning, beauty, and poignancy in modest and understated things. Wabi refers to finding spiritual fulfillment in simplicity and unpretentiousness, while Sabi discovers beauty in the patina that comes with age and use.
It's said to be about finding beauty in imperfection rather than seeking perfection.
Yes, to understand the essence of Wabi Sabi, three keywords serve as important clues: transient nature, Mujō, simple profundity, Kanso, and deep resonance, Chōmei. Kamo no Chomei, Senno no Rikyū, and Matsuo Bashō each deepen the spirit of Wabi Sabi in their respective eras, with Chomei emphasizing transient nature, Rikyū developing simple profundity, and Bashō elevating deep resonance. These three elements resonate with and complement each other. The charm of Wabi Sabi emerges from the combination of these three elements. In all aspects of Japanese culture, tea ceremony, gardens, Japanese cuisine, these three elements appear in exquisite balance.
Could you explain these three keywords in more detail?
Yes, let's explore each of the three essential qualities that shape Wabi Sabi.
Transient nature, Mujō.
Transient nature, Mujō, is the concept that everything constantly changes and nothing remains in the same state forever. This aesthetic can be understood through three aspects: ephemerality, hakanasa, nature, seizen, and tranquility, seijyaku.
So it's about finding beauty within change, isn't it?
While Western culture has idealized the eternal and unchanging, Japanese culture has found beauty precisely in things that fade away. Value exists because of impermanence, and peace of mind comes from following the laws of nature. This is the aesthetic of transient nature.
The contrast with Western culture is fascinating. Could you elaborate a bit more?
Yes, first, the meaning of ephemerality, hakanasa, is the attitude of accepting the transience of things. We find beauty in the falling cherry blossoms, and Senno no Rikyū embodied the spirit of ichigo ichie, one time, one meeting, cherishing each moment that will never come again. Nature, seizen, refers to the sensitivity to feel the changing seasons. Kamo no Chōmei expressed in Hojoki the truth that nothing exists eternally, like flowing water, and found stability of mind by placing himself in nature. Tranquility, seijyaku, is the inner peace found within a changing world. Matsuo Bashō showed wisdom for living in an impermanent world through his philosophy of fueki-ruko, harmonizing change, that which evolves with time, with constancy, that which remains universal.
I see that ephemerality, nature, and tranquility all share the common thread of accepting change and finding deeper meaning within it. That's quite contrary to the Western pursuit of permanence.
Exactly. The aesthetics of impermanence is about finding profound richness and peace of mind by accepting rather than denying change. This represents the wisdom of engaging with the world that Japanese people have cultivated throughout their long history.
How can we apply this to modern life?
In modern times, we are constantly pursued by endless information. The concept of transient nature in Wabi Sabi calms the mind. Cherish transience. With the spirit of ichigo ichie, be grateful for encounters and value this very moment. A sense of gratitude will sprout even in ordinary daily life.
This moment, right now, right?
Yes, also try observing nature. Open your heart to the expressions of nature close to you. A single flower blooming in the garden, or clouds changing color at dusk. A spirit of harmony will emerge, nurturing a flexible mind. And taste tranquility. Take a deep breath, listen to the sound of the wind, and consciously create moments of silence. Inner quietness will spread, bringing peace to your mind. Why not step away from the clamor and listen to your inner voice? Savor the present moment.
Simple profundity, Kanso.
Simple profundity, Kanso, is the deep beauty born from stripping away decoration and excess, leaving only the essence. It's not mere simplicity, but possesses a depth achieved through thorough refinement. This aesthetic can be understood through three aspects: purification, junka, naturalness, so, and serenity, seihitsu.
So, the appeal is that it's simple, yet profound.
While Western aesthetics express beauty through decoration, through addition, Japanese aesthetics emphasize subtraction.
The aesthetic of subtraction. is an interesting concept.
Exactly. First, the meaning of purification, junka, is the process of removing the unnecessary. Senno Rikyū transformed elaborate tea ceremonies into modest tea huts, elevating spirituality through minimal space and tools. Naturalness, so, is the attitude of respecting materials and essence. Japanese cuisine values cooking methods that bring out the natural flavors of ingredients, and Kamo no Chōmei found spiritual fulfillment in a minimal lifestyle. Serenity, seihitsu, is the depth born from quietness. Bashō's karumi, lightness style, purified everyday language, and no theater leaves strong impressions through minimal expression.
All three share the common thread of removing the superfluous, don't they?
That's right. The aesthetics of simplicity is about deep beauty that emerges not from external splendor, but from approaching the essence.
How does this relate to us in modern times?
Our lives are filled with excess. The concept of simple profundity in Wabi Sabi brings richness to the heart. Try experiencing purification. By removing unnecessary things, you can focus on what truly matters. You'll feel your heart becoming fulfilled by leaving only the essence. Also try sensing so, naturalness. When you turn your attention to the unadorned appearance of things, you'll notice the inherent richness of objects. We can discover unexpected beauty in things in their natural state and taste serenity. In quiet times, you can feel the calmness of your heart. Just by stepping away from the noisy everyday life, a deep quietness spreads within us. Why not let go of the unnecessary and find what truly matters? Return to simplicity.
Deep resonance, kyōmei.
Another keyword of Wabi Sabi is resonance, deep resonance. This is the profound depth created by intentionally leaving things incomplete. This aesthetic consists of three elements: negative space, ma, lingering feeling, yoin, and profound mystery, yugen, that stimulate the viewer's imagination and lead to deeper understanding and emotion.
The idea of intentionally leaving something unfinished is intriguing.
While Western aesthetics aim for complete and explicit expression, Japanese Wabi Sabi deliberately creates spaces of stillness that resonate deeply, stimulating the viewer or participant's imagination and creating a deeper engagement. This approach of embracing both stillness and resonance forms the profound appeal of Wabi Sabi.
This difference from Western approaches is quite clear.
Yes, first, the meaning of negative space, ma, refers to intentional emptiness. In ink paintings, much of the canvas remains blank, and in Ryoenji's rock garden, the limited arrangement of stones creates infinite interpretations. Second, lingering feeling, yoin, is the temporal reverberation. In haiku, Matsuo Bashō conveyed emotions beyond words with just 17 syllables, and hojoki leaves deep impressions by intentionally leaving parts that cannot be fully captured in words. Third, profound mystery, yugen, is the elusive mystique. The simple gestures in No Theater and Senno Rikyū's emphasis on natural materials in the tea ceremony possess a depth beyond what is visible.
It's fascinating how all three elements share the common thread of stimulating imagination.
Yes, the resonance in Wabi Sabi is a dialogue where the creator intentionally leaves spaces that are completed in the mind of the person experiencing it.
How can we incorporate this into our daily lives?
Modern society demands efficiency and completeness, trying to fill every empty space. But haven't we lost true richness in our busyness? Try incorporating ma, negative space, into your life. Just by keeping a corner of your room simply organized or setting aside free time in your daily schedule, your mind will gain room to breathe and your imagination will flourish. Also, try feeling yoin, reverberation, the quietness after a cup of matcha, the lingering feeling after beautiful music ends, the time spent savoring these quiet moments that somehow continue to resonate vividly, colors our memories, and experience yugen, profound mystery. Sensing deeply mysterious qualities with your five senses leads us to a mystical world beyond reason, where stillness speaks more eloquently than words. Why not create empty space intentionally and enrich your mind? Feel with your five senses.
Conclusion, Wabi Sabi.
Let's summarize Wabi Sabi as we've discussed it today. Looking back through history, the aesthetics of Wabi Sabi were refined and deepened during difficult times of war and famine. Within material constraints, Japanese people sought ways to find spiritual richness, resulting in the aesthetic sensibility of Wabi Sabi with its three essential qualities: transient nature, simple profundity, and deep resonance. And now we face an era of rapid change and confusing uncertainty. Especially in such turbulent times, the wisdom of Wabi Sabi shines once again.
So it's wisdom that's especially needed in our current times.
Practicing Wabi Sabi is possible in daily life. Try a lifestyle of choosing only what you need, consciously incorporate time to do nothing into your weekend plans, and above all, cherish your interactions with people you meet as ichigo ichie, once-in-a-lifetime encounters. These small practices will bring quiet changes to your daily life.
We can start with small steps.
Yes. Why not take your first step into Wabi Sabi today? By incorporating the spirit of Wabi Sabi into your daily life, you should be able to find richness of heart, even in modern society. Especially in difficult times, the wisdom of Wabi Sabi becomes our spiritual support.
Thank you for this wonderful talk. I'll definitely try to practice it.
Thank you for staying until the end. Please share your thoughts and opinions with us. See you in the next video.